This this video is going to be really a thank you for Jimmy, who has helped me out majorly with a record store day item that I was really looking for. After I picked up my record store day stuff, I think it was, or maybe it was before record store day, I can't remember. But anyway, I mentioned that the one US record store day release that I was really after was the Bowie 7-inch picture disc of 1984. They've been releasing them from record store day. Starman came out, was it 3 years ago maybe? And then kind of periodically over the last few years they've been releasing a single every few months. But they've all been UK releases, which has been fine. But annoyingly this year they decided to do one. They did a UK one, which I got, which is no problem, but they also did a US release, which was this, which is David Bowie's 1984, and then like a live version of it on the flip side. And thank you so much for getting this. This, in my view, is why the VC is so good. I know there was videos what the VC means to you, and the friendships and the willingness to buy things and ship them across the world, because you know that the person on the other side of the world is, really wants it. It's just unbelievable, unbelievably generous. I mean, you could have quite easily shoved this on eBay or something and made a profit, but he knew that I was desperate for a copy, so he sent me one, which is just fantastic. This is really what record store day and music and the VC is all about. So this arrived yesterday, and I'm just over the moon with it. But as a bonus, I was kind of expecting a little 7-inch mailer, but it was one of his usual big, I say usual because he sent me quite a few things now, one of his usual big boxes. I was going to do a live opening, but I couldn't resist. So the other thing he sent me was this, which is a Camera Obscura live EP. I think he said these were limited to 250 copies worldwide. They're not numbered or anything, but I don't know. This is a live EP taken from their most recent album, Desire Lines, which is the one, coincidentally, that one of the items I sent to Fred. I'd also sent Jimmy a copy of this. Jimmy, the Earl of Suave, that is, for those of you who don't know or haven't already realised, and Fred, who is Big Star 1000. So yeah, so again, I've not had a chance to listen to this, but the Camera Obscura Desire Lines album is really good. It's a great kind of summery pop album, along the lines of Bella and Sebastian and that kind of thing. They're a Scottish band, but well worth checking out if you like kind of indie pop. So thank you, Jimmy. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's perfect, and I'm really pleased. If there's anything that you want, if there's a UK release that comes out, just say, and I'll get one sorted out for you. Right, what else have I been? I got given some albums. I've not really had a chance to listen to, but it's a kind of a mixed bag of things. first one I have listened to this was a Lonnie Donegan showcase, which to begin with I thought, you know, Lonnie Donegan really. It's on Marble Arch, which is like a budget pie label, but I actually kind of like it. I like the fact that all the sleeves match. I'm quite geeky about it that way. I like things to match, and I like sets of things. And the fact that all these Marble Arch covers are all have this white strip at the top, and well, I say all of them, 95% of them do. There's a lot of crap that's on it, but I listened to this and I didn't really like it, to be honest. The first track on it, this Warbush Cannonball, is really good. And I think there was another one, maybe Wreck of the Old 97 or Ramblin' Man, I can't remember. One of the ones on side 2 was pretty good, but generally it was not really my cup of tea. But he does look very cool on the front. He looks like a kind of 60s film star. So I'll probably keep it just for those couple of tracks. These ones I haven't had a chance to listen to, but they look pretty beat. But I'm going to give them a clean and see what happens. So this is All Star Blues. This is on the Gala label. And this is old. This must be from the possibly even the late 50s. See if I can find a date on it. Yeah, it's on the old Gala label. Yeah, recorded first published in '58. So, but there's a whole mixture of people. It's got Lena Horne, Eta Jones, Ivy Anderson, Linda Keane. I'm going to give it a whirl to see what it's like. But like I said, I'm not holding my breath. It's got a few marks on it, and I'm not sure how well it's going to play. Which is the same with these next two, unfortunately. Dave Brubeck's quartet, trio, and duo with Southern Scene. This is a original Fontana pressing. I think this again is from either the late 60s or the late 50s or very early 60s. Not sure whether there's a date on it. 60. Yeah, first published in 1960. And I think the original ones were on Fontana, because I think he then went on and signed with CBS. So give that one a spin. And another Dave Brubeck one, which looks more interesting. Dave Brubeck and Paul Desmond, Jazz at the Black Hawk, which is on Vogue, if I can find, yeah, Vogue Records. But again, as you can see, this isn't in the greatest. The laminate's coming off. But again, this must be from the late 50s, I would imagine. I love that old Vogue label. Don't know if there's a date on it. No date, so I don't exactly know when this is from, but it looks pretty cool. Again, there's a few marks on it, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it's going to go. I also picked up. I found these couple of jazz cassettes that I got in one of the local charity shops. I've got an old car that's only got a cassette player in it, so I quite often buy cassettes just to listen to when I'm driving about. So I've got a weird selection of things. Walkman digitally remastered, which I thought was quite amusing. Digitally remastered for cassette. Wes Montgomery, I really wasn't that keen on this. But this one is really good. Chuck Magnoni, I don't know how to pronounce it. but this is great, almost kind of fusiony in places. Some of the vocally ones with the female singing and things I'm not so keen on, but this track here, Legend of the One-Eyed Sailor, is unbelievably good, and was worth the 10p or whatever this costed on its own. So I would love to get a copy of that on vinyl, I think. I had a look, and I don't know whether I can find any of his stuff as studio. It all seems to be, well, predominantly live recordings. But yeah, I'm going to check out more of his stuff, definitely. Yeah, so that's about it really. I can show you I've done a few more sketches, so I've kind of caught up with myself. A lot of these things that I've just shown today, I don't really know whether they're going to be keepers or not, so I don't know whether they'll be going in the book. But what have we've got? Get this to shine without too much glare. Beach Boys, Surfing Safari, that was the Record Store Day release. And the Incredible String Band, that was the Dead Sea Fruit album. White writing is just about the worst thing to possibly try and draw, because you have to try and draw around it, and so it's a nightmare. So that's why that's a bit crap. And the Damon Albarn album, which I've listened to a few times now, and is a real grower. I think I've done, yeah, you've seen those ones before. This is the stuff I've done previously. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. 12 minutes. And also, before I go, I'd like to say hello to Fred. Glad the stuff arrived all right. Glad it all looks interesting. Hopefully the half cousin one is quite interesting, and they're worth looking into actually as well, because Kevin Cormack, like I said, used to live in this house, but also Jimmy Hogarth, who's the other half of the group, who's gone on to be a pretty big. He's done well for himself. He's a pretty big producer over here in the UK. He's worked with a whole range of people. He's written music for people like I think James Morrison or James Blunt, one of those two. He's produced stuff with Tina Turner. So I mean, he's doing pretty good. So, but that half cousin doesn't reflect necessarily his production style. His own music is, in my opinion, much better than the stuff, the poppy side of stuff that he kind of writes and makes a living from. Yeah, so what's that? 13 and a half minutes. That's plenty long enough for anyone to want to sit and watch me. I hope everyone's doing fine. Yeah, thank you again, Jimmy. You are a lifesaver, and yeah, you've really made Record Store Day for me actually this year, I would say, and that's what it's all about. So thank you very much. I owe you one.